Hello everyone, this is Kay here. Welcome back to my channel. So glad that you're here to share in Friday Book Haul that I am participating in today. Friday Book Haul is an open collaboration hosted by Nat Wiliams, and I'll put her link below. And if you check out the hashtag Friday Book Haul, it's a place where people can show the books that they've found for their junk journaling journey, and sometimes just for their own personal collections. So I've been trying specifically to find some retro books to go in the retro journals that I'm hoping to make when, I don't know, but I'm hoping to make them. But so I did a bit of a trawl around some mop shops today, and it's very hard because I found lots of kids books, but I couldn't find any adult books, sort of like with pictures of houses and people, or stories. I have got stories from the 1950s, but there's no illustrations in them. They're just all text. And I have got a couple of got a styling book that I've got in my that I have shared before in a previous book haul. Anyway, to get on with the thing today, thank you again for joining me. Please give me the thumbs up if you like what you see, and make a comment. That'd be even better still. So this is the first book. I'm just going to put all these to one side. If you can see some things out of the corner of your eyes, because I've just shoved all the things that I was working on yesterday to one side. Rather than put them all away again, because I'm going to work on them a bit later. Richard Scarry, when I was teaching, Richard Scarry was a very popular author and illustrator of books. So I just picked that up. Yeah, he was an illustrator, that's right. I couldn't quite remember. So this is not a very old book. The copyright is 1955, but it's been, obviously this is a brand new one. Doesn't say exactly when. Renewed 1983 perhaps. Anyway, I just picked it up because I liked, I've always liked Richard Scarry's illustrations. I seem to have got a few golden books with rabbits in them now, so I might have to. That's another thing I want to do. I want to make some golden book journals. There just isn't enough hours in the day. By the time we do everything else, well, or if you're not feeling very well, you don't really can't motivate yourself. Just like the colours, just gorgeous. So that was that one, and the other one I picked up was The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter, and I just loved the front cover. I thought the illustration was gorgeous. But somebody I've not heard of before, Cindy, I really hope I'm saying this right, Zekeres. This is another one. Illustrations copyright 1993, so this is not all that old either. Well, I don't think it's old, but I think some people in the junk journal will think that was okay. Look at those beautiful. I just thought the illustrations were really lovely. I've got lots of Beatrix Potter stories, but in the traditional style of her illustrations. But I just like these ones. They're really lovely as well. Really gorgeous. So I might have to keep an eye open for her again, because I quite like her illustration style. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. It's clever how she's done the sort of framing of the picture there. So that was my golden books that I picked up today. I'm trying very hard not to pick up too many, but I just saw those and I really liked them, and they're only what, $1 for that one and $1 for that one. That's not overly expensive. And I picked up this book. I won't use the CD, but I've been just looking for a general nursery rhyme, and I don't like a lot of the illustrations. Maybe I can use the disc for something. I've seen people do that. I usually use the covers, but maybe I could use a disc for something. But again, I picked it up because I quite like the illustrations. It's really quirky. It's not matte, unfortunately. But again, these are illustrated by Eric Kincaid. Now, I've heard of that illustrator as well. I've forgotten. There's no one I'd forgotten about. I'm going to have to add them to my list. Lost Mr. Page, that's gorgeous. Did I say what year it was? First published in 1996, reprinted 2005, 2006. So I've heard of him as well as an illustrator. Just gorgeous, really, that's just gorgeous. Really add to a journal. Of all the Wedgwood paper and all the CU ink, if all the trees were bread and cheese, what would we have to drink? I reckon that would be a really hard little rhyme to illustrate, but that's very clever how they've done that. Old Wooden Shoe, the Queen of Hearts. There was no woman. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Rockaway Baby. That's gorgeous. Polly put the kettle on. Really lovely illustrations. Look at the expressions on these soldiers' faces down here for Humpty Dumpty. Goosey goosey. A lot of these I know, but some of them I actually haven't heard of. Yeah, so I'd heard that they used to wrap people's heads in water, in bandages soaked in vinegar, because I thought that that was going to be a restorative thing for their head injuries or headaches. Me personally, I think having vinegar wrapped around my head would make it worse. Oh, look at that beautiful, I love that one. You know, she looked very sad because she's lost her dog. It's cute too. Little Polly Flynn, let's see. So, oh, now for some unknown reason, I always forget what the end of it, what that one is. So now I know. That's a jack bill, perfect for lots of opportunities to put these in farm journals or just a journal. Two little dicky birds. I still love doing that. Two little dicky birds sitting on the wall. Kids, my kids, all the kids still love that. When I was teaching, they used to play with your fingers, put one behind your back and put the other one behind your back. They loved it. They loved it. So I just thought, like I said, they're really lovely. That's just gorgeous, that one. This is very, very ethereal looking. Really good illustration of London, or how it must have looked in the old days. I'm assuming it's London. So it's by Robert Louis Stevenson, that poem. So I thought that was a really lovely illustrated book. I'm just worried about where I'm going to put all this stuff because I've got stuff everywhere. Then I picked up a few older books, and I chose these ones because of the colours in them. And this one, unfortunately, has been repaired, so it's a bit of a disappointment because I don't think I can take the sticker tape off where it's been repaired. I was just showing my husband it before, and I didn't notice the sticky tape when I got the book, but perhaps we can work around it. But look at the little illustrations of the people around there. But like a lot of older children's books, there's just no date on it, which is frustrating. But isn't that beautiful? Look at the colours. It's called Before We Say Goodnight. There's no publisher name. There's no... Oh, sorry. Juvenile Productions Limited, London. Designed and printed in England. Copyright, but no date. It's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. This is where it's been repaired, and unfortunately the sticky tape's got quite old, and I just don't think that I can... don't think that's going to come off. Oh, maybe it might. But the trouble is going to leave a mark on the paper, but maybe I could take it all off and be careful with it. And when I stick it back down again, be careful in the gluing. Beautiful picture of an English countryside. It's a shame about the black, the brown. Doesn't happen with sticky tape, it goes brown after a while. Look at that, gorgeous. Colours are very bright and vibrant, and I feel really perfect in a vintage journal. Not vintage, retro. Just, it's another lovely page. That's cute. That's cute. Must be having a nightmare about all the things I've eaten. I don't know. I don't know the story. I just love the picture on the front and back covers. Does it say anything in the back? No. Of course not. Of course not. Then we've got this Christmas book. Again, I just picked it up because even though it's not colour, there's still some sort of colours in there. And I thought that would work well with a retro journal too. I just thought that the characters looked retro. The London York stagecoach taking travellers for Christmas is lost on the moors. Can you find the road and guide it safely home to York? Sorry, I should do this all the time with these kind of books because I know that there's very little limited information. This is also printed in England by the same company as the other one, but no date. I found, like I said, lots of children's books with no date. This sort of kind of annual kind of thing. I've got some annuals of my own that I've kept from when I was a little girl and a young teenager, and they're from the 60s. They're all black and white. I want to apologise for my coughing every now and again, but because my lungs are damaged, sometimes I just have to cough to get that sort of air going a bit. And the last one, this has been covered. But again, I just picked it up because the colours are just really lovely. Nice and bright. 1969, so just makes the retro. Just. Very bright and cheerful, isn't it? See, my books that I've got were sort of like 63, 64, 65. So, but like I said, but they're black and white. Another one's been repaired by sticky tape. It's come off. Of course, it's been coloured in by the previous owner, but there's enough in there that can be used. Various journals. I know gollies are sort of golly wog dolls are not the thing these days, but back then they were quite popular and well loved. It's possibly a stereotyped version of what I think it was more a take of a black and white minstrel, which were black-faced white people, really, which is frowned upon these days, and I think it should be. It's not really acceptable, really. It was in the past, but not now. People are more aware. And the last one I picked up, I thought, oh, not another flower book. I didn't look at any of the other flower books, gardening books that were there. I just didn't look at any of them. And then I saw this and I thought, oh, just like the picture on the front. And I thought, oh, I'll have a look at it. And I just love the inside. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely colours. It's Michael Morecambe's Rose Wildflowers. And it's published, first of all, in 1970, fourth impression, 1980. But I picked it up because of the beautiful black and white illustrations. They are so lovely. I'm not as fond of the colour ones that are in here, but the black and white ones are stunning, I think. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Beautiful plant kingdom tree. showing the different genuses. And this person has done all the flowers in the different regions of Australia, which I thought was really good because the colour pictures are good, just that they're glossy, very glossy. But I think the little ones would be fine as a little interest spot. They're lovely. I just like the black and white ones better. This one's in the east, Queensland, New South Wales. Look at the beautiful orchid drawings. How he's got the little feathery effect. So clever. Just gorgeous. Beautiful Christmas bells flowers. And the waratah, very well-known Australian flower, and the bottle brush. We have quite a few Captain Cook bottle brushes in our garden, which means they're a smaller version of being propagated and they can grow smaller for smaller gardens. And in the middle of Australia, the Banksias. Look at that beautiful pictures. I mean, they're all beautiful, but I just like the illustrations. Really like the illustrations. I know you couldn't really, you'd have to use them as pages in journals. I think that one could be used because they're a bit big for much else, for tags or anything, but just some of them possibly, but they just are, that maybe have to be a big one, big tag. Look, beautiful colours. Again, we do have flowers in the middle of Australia, but they mostly only come out when we've had some rain. In the north, and sometimes that can be years and years and years, and they just sit there lying dormant until when it rains and they just all come out. A bit like the frogs that live there. They go into hibernation and then when it rains, they come out. There is a lot of wetland area in Northern Territory in the north and south of Australia. It's beautiful. Then we do have some beautiful colours. Part southwest of Western Australia, there's gorgeous flowers over there when they're in season. So many different kinds. You can tell Australian orchids, they have that sort of really dainty, delicate look, I think. Is that a Banks? Off the top of my head, does it say? No. Beautiful. That's the Banksia. Lots of Banksias. They do have protea, like. Now, there was me thinking that we didn't have Australian flowers like that in Australia, but we do, obviously. It looks a bit like a thistle, doesn't it, really? See this around a lot. It's so beautiful when it's in bright orange. It's just stunning. Kangaroo paw. Look like they're pitcher plants, yes. It's cool, these everlasting, because you can pick them and put them in your vase and they'll just last and last. You don't have to put water in them or anything, they just last forever. But I hope you like the black and white illustrations as much as I do. I just think they're gorgeous. So that could probably be used as a tag, and that could be. It shows you where all the national parks and wildlife flower reserves are. And the rainfall we have, that's probably sadly out of date now because of climate change. But it's just really, really beautiful, I thought, just for those illustrations alone. Hope you really like that too, and all the other books I've shared today. Please make a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to see me next time. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.